You're watching Better Business Bureau's Business at its Best, brought to you by Ataraxis. You've got employees, we've got solutions. Human resources, insurance, benefits, and payroll. Our business is your business. BBB's Business at its Best.
New technology moving Idaho business ahead. I'm Dale Dixon from Better Business Bureau, serving the Snake River region. Welcome to Business at its Best. We're devoting this half hour to seeing how Idaho companies are creating and using new technology. On today's show, we start with a look at a product developed in Idaho that makes the small screen of your smartphone much larger. It's a mini projector. Wait till you see it. Then, business coach Greg Carlson spends some time with us looking at ways to get your business more productive despite the distractions posed by that new technology. And the owner of Ambush Tactical joins us for a look at how his company is using new technology to grow. Business at its Best is possible because of our media partners. We are on some great stations, including KTVB, Idaho's very own 24/7 in southern and western Idaho, and eastern Idaho's local News 8's Now channel. And we start today's show with a look at new technology developed in the Gem State. Platform Development creates software and firmware for Android and those Apple devices. The company is also expert in consumer electronics that work with photos, projection, websites, and streaming video. Bill Laurer with Platform Development joins us. Bill, thanks so much for being with us.
Thanks, Dale.
First of all, why did you start Platform Development?
Well, so I saw an opportunity in the marketplace. Yeah, I'm sure you've seen this every time you go out to a restaurant, someone will be looking at a phone, you're in a group of people, and they start handing their phone around. And every time I saw that, I thought, you're handing this phone around, this isn't quite the social interaction you expected. It's hard to get two people to kind of peek at something and actually have a social experience. And I thought, there's got to be a better way. So with that idea in hand, we started this group with a small group of people with me, and we targeted projection as our marketplace and thought social and projection goes together.
And so, in front of us are the products that you developed.
That's correct.
Right here in the state. So tell us about what we're seeing.
Well, both of these products are what are typically called pico projectors, and there's a family of this out there. But we've done something a lot different. Namely, we've integrated everything. There's no cable. There's no anything to connect up. It's a simple process. Whether you have an iPhone or an iPod Touch, you hook it up just like that, and now I've got a mobile projector in my hand.
Now, we have some video that we're going to roll from the back room and show people exactly what this looks like. So that's a projection image of folks.
This is our software that separates us, but you can take a video anywhere. We're here, we got a YouTube video running. So of course we support that through projection. These are actual videos running on our devices. But we also support social media, so you can launch Facebook or anything like that. And in fact, you can open up documents. That little picture you saw of on the go showing on someone's shirt is a great example of use it anywhere. If you got somebody with a white shirt, a napkin at a restaurant, you've got a great screen to show it. The differentiator really is all about the software. Projectors exist, but having it all in one place where everything's connected, easy to use, and that's really was our target. We got to make this easy to use.
Do you see yourself as being the leading edge with a product like this? I really haven't seen anything else out there like this.
Well, I mean, that's a great statement, because I've never seen anyone use one either, and it's not really a business application per se. It's really more of a social sharing environment. And so I think the marketplace typically would be you showing video of your kid's t-ball game or something like that to mom and dad, or kids in college showing their Facebook pages or watching Netflix or YouTube. And so you don't see those kinds of things. The way that we've integrated it and with the software, we think we're really quite far ahead of everybody else.
Why Idaho? Why do business in Idaho? Why have this kind of technology in the state?
Well, I live in Idaho. I love Idaho. And actually, Idaho is a great place to attract people. It's not so much a trouble any longer in the days where you had to go to Silicon Valley or maybe Seattle or something like that to get high technology. There are really smart people here in Idaho. There are really smart people who want to live here. And getting those people on board, it's pretty easy when you live in a great place to live. So it's no trouble whatsoever in the technology realm.
And that's the message we want to get out, that there's definitely opportunity and possibility.
I'm a big believer in that. And when you talk about software as well, I mean, software is something that people have skills. They can live anywhere. So there's no limiters.
Everybody's asking now that's watching, when can I get my hands on this and where, how?
So we're selling it direct. The website is that'smygo.com. And it'll be available. This guy is $99 retail. This guy's $129 retail. We think it's kind of a no-brainer. They come with software. We'll be taking pre-orders and shipping in a month.
All right. Thank you so much, Bill Laurer. And the company is Platform Development. All the best to you. It's
I
fun.
appreciate it.
Thanks for debuting it right here. Well, all the new technology is great, but does it turn out to be a bright, shiny object that distracts you from the important work of running your business effectively? We show you the time wasters and how to get the most out of tech when we return. You're watching Business at its Best, presented by Ataraxis. Welcome back to Business at its Best. Ataraxis makes this program possible each week. The company takes care of the day-to-day work of HR, benefits, and payroll so a business owner can focus on growing business. And we are spending this 30 minutes showing you how Idaho companies are creating and using new technology. And we wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't show you what BBB is all about, helping people buy wisely and companies sell ethically. When you see BBB accredited business, you know a company has promised to uphold our standards for trust. Those advertise honestly, tell the truth, be transparent, be responsive, safeguard privacy, honor promises. All of those things go into helping you make a confident decision in working with a company in Idaho. While technology can be a great way to streamline and make your business more efficient and productive, it can also cause some distraction. Greg Carlson owns OnTrack Coaching, and he helps companies be the best they can be. Greg, thanks so much for being with us today. And as you coach those business owners, what are some of the areas that you see technology creating distractions, taking their eye off the game, so to speak?
Well, when somebody will ask me about new technology, I'll say new technology is much like a new set of golf clubs. If you don't know how to play golf, the new clubs won't work. They don't help. And often you see this, that people think that technology is going to be the cure for the business. The reality is if you have poor systems in place now, if you have poor disciplines in place right now, technology is only going to make it worse. You know, there's not such thing as bad people. It's usually you've got bad systems. And people sometimes buy technology and think that that will cure it, and it will not.
Because as entrepreneurs, and as we work with business owners, so often it is the bright, shiny object syndrome.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I know I can be accused of doing that as well.
Yep, I think we all are, and we carry that into our business. But technology should be there to support what we've got in place and enhance what we've got in place, not replace it. Because if your systems are not sound, your technology is not going to be sound either.
So awareness sounds like the first key to this
Absolutely.
process.
Make sure that that technology addresses your fundamentals in your business.
What are a few steps that a person could take to remove those technology distractions
Well,
if they're aware and they're going to look and dissect what's going on in their life?
Well, put your systems in place. Look and make sure that the disciplines are in your business. Avoid the fads and the fade-outs. This is a classic. A fad comes out, a new piece of technology. Don't be the first one in line to try new technology. And avoid the whistles and bells. We are attracted to those things that we might use on an exception, and we forget about what we can use fundamentally to enhance our business.
So let's leave on a positive note some ways that we can use technology to increase our productivity.
Anything that you can add that will improve organizational communication and that will act as an accelerator of what works today in your business. In other words, if you've got something that's working well, buy technology that will enhance and accelerate what you're doing well. I give you something very simple, fundamental, few people think about. Getting a company calendar that everybody can use on email and can see everybody's schedule and all the resources are scheduled there. And if you can get your organization to use that, it increases productivity 10 times fold. But people look over that because it's so fundamental and so basic. Yet it can be so helpful in those sort of things that accelerating your business.
Greg Carlson, OnTrack Coaching. Folks want to find you?
OnTrackCoaching.com.
All right, thank you so much for being with us. And coming up next on Business at its Best, there are plenty of legal liabilities you and your business need to consider when it comes to technology. We're going to show you what to watch for. You are watching Business at its Best, presented by Ataraxis. Welcome back to Business at its Best. This is a half-hour TV show airing across Idaho, and it shows how companies all along the Snake River Plain, from Jackson Hole, Wyoming to Ontario, Oregon, drive the economy by providing top-quality jobs and services and providing jobs to folks in Idaho. Today, our focus is on new technology in the state. Better Business Bureau teams up with Northwest Nazarene University each week, bringing the expertise from the university campus to your company. Dr. Bill Russell joins us for a look at the legal liabilities around this new technology. Thanks so much for being with us. So what are some of those legal risks that people need to be thinking about out there as they're using new technology?
Well, one of the things to remember is that our legal system, contracts, commercial, criminal, the whole system, evolved over centuries when there was no such technology. Also, many of our business habits, at least for the older members of the business community, have evolved over a time when there was no technology. So all of a sudden, we create this new environment, and the law is struggling to catch up, and our habits, it's very much so. And so there are a lot of traps that you have to watch out for, and we need to be careful that we understand there is a new environment. The law is catching up, but it's catching up slowly.
So let's start off with email.
Oh, email, one of my favorite topics. Imagine 40 years ago that everywhere you went, somebody was following you with a camera, recording everything you ever said. Well, that's kind of the way it is with email today. Don't ever fool yourself into thinking that you can delete an email. With the whole system of internet, if I'm litigating against you, I will get every email you wrote, whether you've deleted it or not. So don't say stupid things. Don't presume that it won't come back and bite you. And you got to be very thoughtful, very careful. Don't send it to more people than you need to, and don't presume that you can ever hide from your emails.
What about those areas where I'm asked to check a box and make an agreement? And I'm thinking you go through and you buy or you just download an app on your phone.
Sure.
And there's a user agreement, and you've got to scroll through, I don't know how many pages as you go through the process and click I agree at the end. You never read that.
You put on software, or you buy something on the internet, you order something, and there's always that thing, I agree to these terms. Well, and we just kind of just click that because it's an annoyance and we want to get on to the next screen. The problem is when you do that, you are entering into a contract. And when you check that, you just said, I am now contracted for whatever it is that's hidden behind that box that you didn't bother to read. Now, I understand that you're really probably not going to be able to negotiate it, but don't get surprised. You better know what the terms are. There are some really kinky terms buried inside those things that the sellers of online materials have put in. And if you end up in a fight with them, you may find that what you just clicked really destroys your position. I know it's a hassle to read it, but read it so you know what it is you're agreeing to.
But you started off by using the analogy of, imagine 50 years ago somebody following you around with a video camera recording every move you made. Is there a chance something like that, the digital equivalent, is built into the user agreement? One reason you need to be sure that you're reading
this. Sure, you don't know. I mean, you sign up for some software that connects you on the internet. You don't know what you've just agreed to do. You may have agreed to give your name to people that will sell to you. You may have agreed to let them use your name for market analysis. There are all sorts of things, and many of the big online vendors, Amazon, Google, bury some really pretty sophisticated things in there that you may not like.
How about signatures on digital documents, just typing your name at the bottom of that document digitally, electronically? How much weight does it hold compared to a piece of paper and signing your name?
We all know if somebody hands you a pen and says, I want your signature here, that you're doing something that's legal when you sign your name. That has force. That is a signature. You just agreed to something. We tend to think when we get on the internet or onto a computer that when we type our name, that's not the same thing. Wrong. It is exactly the same thing.
So the law is clear in that area.
The law has evolved in that regard, and there is now what is called an electronic signature. So when you type your name in a way that's designed to indicate assent, that is the same as penning your name. Again, you've just entered into a contract, and you better know what the terms are that you agreed to.
Important liabilities to keep in mind out there in this electronic age. Dr. Bill Russell, NNU, thank you so much for being with us today.
Have a great evening.
We will. Coming up next on Business at its Best, we show you how a firearms dealer in Idaho is using technology to improve his business. You're watching Business at its Best, presented by Ataraxis. Welcome back to Business at its Best, airing all across the Snake River Plain from western Wyoming throughout Idaho and into eastern Oregon. We're spending this 30 minutes focused on how Idaho companies are creating and using new technology. Ambush Tactical sells guns, gear, and training to the military, defense contractors, and civilian markets. James Burns joins us. James, thanks so much for being with us today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having us.
First of all, tell me why you created Ambush Tactical.
Well, Ambush Tactical first and foremost was created to provide training and tactical gear for those who either would be going into harm's way or may find themselves into harm's way. So whether that be the civilian, the military, or any law enforcement agency.
You opened up the store in 2010.
Correct.
And I was on your website looking around. What's your philosophy behind your website, your online presence, and what's going on there?
Well, our website, our main philosophy is to interact with the customer. So we want not only the customer to be able to see the products that we have and the quality of products that we possess and are able to distribute, but also that we use them, we train with them, we test them, so that they're going out knowing that that product has been field tested, it has been abused, and that it works in reality.
You incorporate a lot of video.
Oh, absolutely.
So a lot of visuals in what you have.
And we're a big fan of putting our money where our mouth is. We show you that we know what we're doing. We show you that we know how to run this equipment, and we show you that it holds up.
What kind of traffic are you seeing on your website and the growth? Growth as it correlates with your business growth since you opened up.
Our website is growing exponentially. The amount of hits, the amount of people that are coming grow by the day, by the minute realistically. We've been working a lot with integrating social media into our website. We're actually got a new website under construction right now. So our website is very much a big part of our growth and a big part of the technology that we're using to get to more people.
So as somebody who's started up a new business, and the premise of this show is to help business owners across the state grow and improve their businesses, we're going to see a story in just a few moments that talks about the fact that there's still 50 to 60% of businesses in Idaho who don't even have a website.
Yes.
Your advice to those business owners is really you've got to get into this space from a technology standpoint.
Absolutely. I mean, the most important thing is to being able to reach your demographic wherever they may be. Whether it's in Idaho or it's across the country or it's in another part of the world. You need to be able to let those people understand that you exist and that you are building a product or manufacturing a product or representing a product that is worth having, and they want it. You just got to actually get to them, and that's probably the best way to do it.
Now we've touched on briefly social media, but what are some specific ways that you're using technology to attract customers?
As far as social media is concerned?
Or technology overall?
Well, first being with social media, Facebook obviously and YouTube, we do a lot of deals and a lot of showing people what we can actually do on those pages. Then also different technologies that we use, whether it be modern day CNC machines for some of the products that we're using or AutoCAD or any of those things, that gets us more customers based on the fact that we've got superior product.
Okay. How do you approach integrating new technology into your business, being sure that you're doing the right things as you move forward?
It's difficult because there's a lot of stuff out there, and it's really, we have to find what applies to us and what works best for us. And integration is difficult because we have a platform that works, but we are always trying to evolve and make it better. So our biggest kind of headache, if you will, is trying to weed through those technologies and make sure that we get the right ones that we need for the time and we don't either overdo it or underdo what we're trying to accomplish.
Staying focused on what you do and what you do best.
Absolutely, and do it well. You know, that's been our main focus, is doing what we do best.
James Burns, Ambush Tactical. Folks want to find you online.
www.ambush-tactical.com.
All right, thank you so much for being with us today. Better Business Bureau has a number of resources to help people find the best companies in Idaho, and BBB helps companies sell ethically. You can find us online at bbb.org. Also, we are on Facebook. Just go there to Facebook, type in BBB Snake River. Be sure to click the like button while you're there as well. Coming up next on Business at its Best, we take you inside one Idaho company for a look at technology in action, also showing you how there are plenty of opportunities for companies in Idaho to latch on to some new technology. You're watching Business at its Best, presented by Ataraxis. Welcome back to Business at its Best. Our focus today, technology, and while we've been talking about staying on the leading edge of tech, it can be intimidating. If you've been avoiding taking your company to the next level of technology, there are a few simple steps you can take to learn more.
The internet is becoming so relevant in what we do today that if you're not on the internet and not getting found in some way, you're really missing out. Google came to Idaho because they did their research and found out that 63% of businesses in Idaho have no internet presence. And that means not even email, a website, they're not listed in a directory, they are not to be found on the internet. Not being found on the internet is huge. You're missing out on so much. There's 3 places you can get found in Google. You can do the Google AdWords program, but that's a sponsored ad, so there's a cost to that. There's Google Places, which is the map section. And no one really has control of how they're placed on Google Places. Google decides that. And it's based on a lot of different things that I won't go into now. And then the organic listings. That's where SEO comes in very important. But you got to remember, on Google, there's really only room for 12 or 13 business listings. 3 years ago, the BBB decided to be cutting edge and to jump in on Google AdWords. It tends to be very inexpensive advertising, but gets a lot of traffic opposed to if you were trying to do it by yourself, because people will see your name and you're in there with hundreds of other names and they have no idea what sets you apart. You have to be able to be found on a regular daily basis. 96–97% of people use Google. The other search engine capabilities, Yelp or Yahoo or Bing, just don't compare. Without SEO, you're not going to get found either. And so it's a very important part of your website. It's a daily fight to be found.
That does it for this edition of Business at its Best. Have a great week. We'll see you right back here next Saturday evening.